Hello everyone, welcome back. So recently I have had several videos where I am clearing out an area over here so that I can park my farm equipment or the implements for the tractor. And there's already a big concrete pad over here, but from that all the way over here to the driveway I'm going to fill in with gravel. I'm just going to gravel an area all the way back there so I have a nice big area to park equipment. So when I was clearing this out, I've cut down several trees and I ended up with a lot of stumps that are going to be right under the gravel. So I want to get rid of those stumps. Now the biggest one was 5.5 feet in one direction and 30 inches in the other direction, and I tried burning that stump out. And it burnt for 6 days. In fact, it's still burning today. It's still sitting over there smoldering. And I got about 75% of that stump burned out. So I don't want to try to do that on all these stumps. So I ended up renting a stump grinder today. I've never ran a stump grinder before, so this is going to be new for me. And honestly, when I picked it up, I was hoping it'd be bigger than it was. I thought maybe it was a little bit small, but they swear to me that this will take out these big stumps that I have today. So I think I've got a total of 8 stumps that I could take out. So I've got this for a 1-day rental. I'm not sure if I'll get 8 stumps out. We'll see how far we can get. But I definitely have plenty of work ahead of me if this thing will do it. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it back up and we'll get started. And then I'll have to kind of work out, I guess, how to kind of run the machine and be efficient at it. So it'll be a learning process. So let's get started. So I've got the first stump, I've got it ground out, and I only really took it down kind of level with the ground. I didn't take it down into the ground. This one's off to the side. It's one I didn't actually have to do. I used it as kind of a test stump just to kind of try out the machine, but it still took me like 2 hours to take out this big stump. So it took a while. You kind of creep forward and you can go forward about 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch at a time and just keep taking off a little bit of material each time. And a couple things I noticed, of course, is it's got a cutting path that it has. That's about as wide as the machine. And the way I tried to do that first stump, the stump was wider than the machine, so it didn't end up cutting the entire stump. It left a couple pieces on each side. So then I had to turn the machine and come in from this way and get the remainder 2 pieces and kind of grind them down. So definitely probably helps to make sure that you line up with a stump, I guess. Preferably so it's the same width as the machine. Maybe you'll cut it all in one path. So another thing I noticed, of course, is it's throwing these wood chips everywhere, and it throws them right in front of your tires. So if you're cutting forward, your tires are wanting to roll up on top of those wood chips, and your machine wants to get higher and higher as you go. and that causes you to need to lower your cutting tool about every time you move forward as well. So I think you either need somebody to help clear the wood chips and keep the paths of the tires clear so that so the machine doesn't raise up on the wood chips, or you need to run the machine backwards. And I think on these smaller stumps I could run it backwards and I could get them no problem, since they're small and they're cut flush to the ground. And then when you're rolling the machine backwards, of course, there's no wood chips behind you, and you shouldn't have that issue. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to switch to some of these smaller stumps that I need to get out. I'm going to try moving backwards, and I think I'll cut these out pretty quick. One of the teeth just blew off of the stump grinder. So now I'm going to call the company, see about getting it fixed. That one there's got a bolt broke. That's where one came off. So as I was just starting to grind on this set of stumps right here, it threw a tooth on the stump grinder, and these teeth, they bolt up in a pair around that disc, and one of the bolts broke and it fell off. As soon as that happened, it was out of balance and it was really shaking. The bad thing is I've got to load this back up and take it back to the rental place so they can repair it. So that sucks. That's going to take out part of my day. I think they'll prorate it, or they'll give me some extra time with the machine. So let's go ahead and load it back up. So I just got back from the rental company and they repaired the teeth on the stump grinder. Now the stump grinder has two different types of teeth. It has teeth that are flared out and teeth that are straight. And we had two flared out sets that needed repaired, and they didn't have any of that style, so they had to put two straight cutting on there instead. So it's not exactly correct, but hopefully it will do the job. So it was 12:30 when it broke down on me. I had to take it there, and now it's a little after 2:30, so I'm already out like 2 hours. So I want to go ahead and get this unloaded and see if we can get the rest of these grinded out before dark. Look at that. Just trying to clean up around that stump, and there's an old Coca-Cola bottle. Isn't that cool? Found a Pepsi bottle the other day. I'll have to keep that, clean it up. It's pretty cool. So this is a Pepsi bottle. Top of it's broke off, but we found one of these the other day that that wasn't broken. It was from either 1958 to 1973. Too bad this one's broke. It's amazing what you keep finding in here. Now this is interesting. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. The bottle is a Frosty, and you'll love it. That's what it says on there. I don't even know how old this is. Huh, pretty cool. So I'm digging around the stump looking for anything that might damage the stump grinder. After I broke that tooth earlier, I definitely don't want to break another one. Not really sure. I didn't think I got into anything too bad to break it, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. But the stump, there's so much metal and crap that was around the stump, I don't want to hit the stump grinder on anything. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of dig around it, and then I'm just going to take it off right at the surface. I'm not going to go down in the ground because I'm afraid I'll end up tearing up the stump grinder. So I'm just going to basically take the top off of this just to kind of guarantee I don't get into anything. I found about 4 or 5 oil filters. They obviously, after they changed their oil, they just threw it here at this tree. Well, I think that's about the 4th shock absorber. So I'd say that's the whole car right there. So I've had people ask me why I don't just take the brush hog on the tractor and come through here and clear this up. And it's because of all this metal. I'm afraid I'll pop a tractor tire. I know that there's so much metal around here. I'll probably won't be good. So I was a little worried that I wouldn't get done today with that tooth breaking on the stump grinder, but I was able to get everything done that I wanted to, so that's good. So now I can come back, I can put some, I need to clean up the area, so I need to come back and clean up this area, get it all nice and clean, bring some gravel in here to make a nice little driveway back there, and then I can take the that carport, that really big carport in the front, see if I can relocate that out here, turn that into a barn or a shed, something to be able to store stuff out of the rain inside. So one step closer to having my little equipment area, you know, for all my farm implements. So ready to get them out of the grass. I'm sick of mowing around them. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day. The sun's getting low on the horizon. I've got to get the stump grinder loaded back on the trailer, have it all strapped down, because I got to have it back at the rental company first thing in the morning. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.